This presentation will discuss your benefits for 2017, as well as the annual open enrollment process for those benefits. If you have any questions after watching this presentation, we encourage you to contact us by emailing benefits@drivetime.com or call 888-781-5654. You may also get additional information by going to our website, DriveTimeBenefits.com. So let's get started.
DriveTime is happy to announce that we have not raised our medical wellness rates for 10 years. We have kept our wellness rates the same for 10 years, and this badge helps signify that. And we will highlight this badge later in the presentation. We want you to know that your open enrollment date is October 24th through November 4th. And what open enrollment is a 2-week period for you to go into ADP self-service and make any changes you want to your coverage. If you want to add dental or drop dental coverage, if you want to add a dependent or drop a dependent, this is your 2-week period to do so. So here's some important information about open enrollment. You are making changes in that 2-week period from October 24th through November 4th for coverage starting January 1st. DriveTime's plan year goes into effect January 1st and runs through December 31st. This is a passive enrollment, so what happens if you do nothing? So if you don't want to change any of your benefits, you want to keep medical, dental, vision, life insurance, and disability at your current coverage levels, they will automatically roll over to the next year. It's still good to go in and confirm your coverage just to make sure you have the right coverage and the right level you want. Erica will talk about how to do this later in the presentation. However, if you want to re-elect flexible spending account or a health savings account, you have to go into ADP self-service and elect these benefits in self-service. All changes made during open enrollment again become effective January 1st. Employees who do not have our benefits still must confirm their election to ADP self-service. This is due to the Affordable Care Act. It's a law that employers must inform the government who does not have coverage, and they have the whole penalty thing in accordance with the ACA. So here are the medical plan rates. Again, here's that badge celebrating 10 years of the same rates. These wellness rates are on the benefits website, DriveTimeBenefits.com. Now let's talk about the Liberty Plan. The Liberty Plan is DriveTime's high deductible health plan that comes with an option to save tax-deferred money into an HSA. With the Liberty Plan, you get a lower per paycheck rate, but higher out-of-pocket costs each time you receive care. The deductible for the Liberty Plan is $1,300 for an individual, which means you're just covering yourself on your medical insurance, and $2,600 for a family. That means if you're covering a spouse, a child, or both. So we're going to skip over that second line and go to the bottom line, no co-pays. So this means you pay all expenses up front to that deductible amount. Prescriptions also count towards that deductible. So actually to reach your deductible, you move to a co-insurance 80-20 split. Essentially that means once you hit your deductible amount, and you receive a medical bill, you only pay 20% of that bill. You will keep paying 20% of your medical bills up until your out-of-pocket maximum, which is $2,500 for an individual and $5,000 for a family. If you hit this amount during the planned year, which runs from January 1st to December 31st, you have no further expenses for the year, and this includes prescriptions. Since you're paying in all of the expenses upfront to the deductible, DriveTime offers a match for those who opt into the HSA, because the HSA is a completely optional benefit. DriveTime will match $250 for individuals and up to $500 for a family. And we'll talk about the HSA right now. So the HSA essentially is an optional benefit, and you don't have to elect the HSA if you elect the Liberty Plan, but you must elect funds for your health savings account to receive the match. And it's $1 for dollar based on your contribution. So if I'm an employee, I can defer $250 of my own money from my paycheck into this HSA. DriveTime will match $250. However, if I only contribute $100 of my money, DriveTime will only match $100. So again, it's $1 for dollar. Your contributions will accumulate per pay period. So every 2 weeks when paychecks hit, you will take money from your account essentially automatically, and it will be placed into the health savings account. 100% of DriveTime's match is contributed on the first paycheck in January, and it's a convenient sign-up. You don't have to go to a different website. You don't have to fill out a form. You don't have to call anybody special. You can just enroll in ADP self-service. It's all there along with your other benefits. Some other benefits about the HSA, it's pre-tax dollars. So every dollar you put into this account, you're lowering your taxable income. Additionally, Once the dollars hit this HSA account, you can use this money for whatever reason for medical, dental, and vision expenses for yourself and your covered dependents. If you are to leave DriveTime or maybe you switch to a different plan like the traditional plan the following year, the money is still yours to keep. DriveTime does not take back their match or any funds that you contributed into the account. And any dollars you do not use at the end of the year roll over to the next planned year. So let's use an example right now to see what this looks like. So if you contributed $250 of your own money, what would it look like per paycheck? That breaks down to $9.61 per paycheck on a $250 contribution. I just took $250 divided by 26, the number of paychecks we have, and I got that amount, $9.61. So in January, DriveTime will advance you the $250 match to put in your account, and on that first paycheck in January, you will also contribute $9.61 of your own money. So at the end of the first paycheck in 2017, you will have $259.61 in the HSA. Now let's talk about the traditional plan. DriveTime's traditional plan is a preferred provider organization, a PPO plan, that comes with co-pays for office visits and prescription coverage. It's a higher per paycheck rate but lower out-of-pocket costs each time you receive care. Essentially what PPO means, it gives the employee flexibility to choose the provider they want as long as the doctor or the provider is in the United Healthcare network. For the traditional plan in 2017, the deductibles, the co-pays, and the prescriptions are not changing. They are still the same as they were in 2016. And also at the bottom, birth control is still 100% covered. With the traditional plan, there are two different flexible spending accounts you can use. There's the healthcare flexible spending account, which you can use for medical, dental, and vision expenses for yourself and your covered dependents, and dependent care flexible spending account, which you can use for child care expenses. The maximum in 2017 for the healthcare FSA is $2,500, and again, each year you have to re-enroll in the FSA. So during the 2-week period of open enrollment, you have to go into ADP self-service to elect this benefit for the next year. One thing to note is that you have to plan accordingly with the FSA because it is a use it or lose it benefit. The money does not roll over like the HSA. And you have to provide receipts to Discovery Benefits for any payments you make with your card that are not regular copay amounts. So a $30 copay, if you use your FSA card, you don't have to supply the receipt. It's always good to keep the receipt just in case. But if you receive a $37 bill for maybe some cleaning work on your teeth, I would keep that receipt because you probably have to provide that to Discovery Benefits. One thing to note with the FSA account, specifically the healthcare FSA, you cannot enroll in the healthcare FSA if you decide to participate in the Liberty Plan. However, you can still participate in the dependent care flexible spending account. Some of the differences between the healthcare and the dependent care FSA is with the healthcare FSA, you get the money loaded on your card at the beginning of the year. So if I elect $1,000 on January 1st, I have the $1,000 on my card to use as I please. Every 2 weeks, though, I will be paying back that money up to $1,000 or whatever I elected. But if I don't use the money at the end of the year, I lost that benefit. So always try to plan accordingly again because it is a use or lose benefit. The dependent care FSA is like the HSA, it accumulates per pay period. So if you elect $1,000, you will not receive the $1,000 all at once at the beginning of the year. You will progress towards the $1,000 throughout the calendar year. Health for Me is United Healthcare's free mobile app. With this app, it allows you to search for providers, view and print medical ID cards, and look at the status of a claim and even fill some of your prescriptions. One example I like to use for this slide is an employee during on-site biometric testing told us that he does not have a primary care physician, but he was interested in the wellness plan and he did get his biometrics done on-site. He's able to use this app and search for a provider in his area, and that could be maybe within 10 miles from his work or 10 miles from his home, somewhere close by. It allows you to find a doctor in your area and even set up an appointment. Teledoc. Teledoc is a benefit that DriveTime offers that is free for their employees and their covered dependents as long as you have medical coverage. Essentially, Teledoc is a national network of U.S. board-certified doctors available on demand to treat you for any medical issues. Essentially, if you're feeling sick at work and you don't want to take time away from your day and not get paid to go to the doctor's office where you probably have to pay a copay, and then wait in line for 30 minutes, possibly an hour. You can use Teladoc and their free app, and you can call or FaceTime with the doctor within 10 to 15 minutes, and they can actually provide healthcare over the phone and the app to you, and even send prescriptions into your closest pharmacy, probably within work or on your way home, so you don't have to miss time away. You can do it on your lunch break. You can do it on your 15-minute break, and it's again at no cost to you. DriveTime covers the consultation visits and the membership visits. And again, the app is free. So now, Kelly, we'll talk about our wellness plan.
And before I get into the wellness plan, I do want to revisit something that was discussed at the beginning of the presentation, which is that 2017 will be the 10th straight year of no rate increase for the top two wellness tiers. We are so pleased to be able to hold our rates the same for one more year and make it to this 10-year mark. Studies by the Kaiser Family Foundation have indicated that, on average, employers have been increasing the premiums for their employees by 6.5% each year. So if you were to take what you were paying for health insurance 10 years ago, increase that by 6.5%, get a new number, and then continue to build on that number over 10 years, it would equate, in some cases, in many cases, to over 88% more than what you're paying right now, which is a huge increase. And so the fact that you haven't had those increases is money that's staying in your pocket, which is important to us and important to you. So let's look at the wellness plan itself. It's changed over the years that we've had it in place, but one of the things that remained consistent about it is that there's three wellness tiers. There's the gold tier, the silver tier, and the bronze tier. Now, the gold tier, you earn 3,000 points or more, and that gets you into the gold tier. 2,500 to 29.99 gets you into the silver tier, and anything that's 24.99 or lower will put you into the bronze tier. Now, as a new hire, once your coverage starts, you will default into the gold tier for the first 60 days of your coverage, which will allow you to have 60 days to get your wellness steps done so that you can remain in that gold tier. If after the end of 60 days you haven't earned enough points to get into that gold tier, then you're going to be placed in whatever tier you do have the appropriate number of points for. And this will apply to your spouse if your spouse is on our coverage as well. So that means you earn your points, but your spouse earns their points separately. So you will both be doing that. And if your spouse or you, whoever has the lower points, that's going to determine the tier that you are in. So let's talk about how you can get those points. The biometric testing, that's getting your HbA1c done. That's your blood glucose. That's one of the biometrics that we test. Getting your cholesterol. There's 4 biometrics, and so getting that biometric testing done, and we'll talk about exactly what those are and what the healthy ranges are for those in just a second. But getting the biometric testing done gets you 600 points, just getting the testing done, regardless of the outcome. Getting an annual physical, that too gets you 600 points. And what a physical consists of, that's up to your doctor. We just indicate that there's the 4 biometrics. And so there's a wellness form. It's out on the DriveTimeBenefits.com website. And that wellness form, we've mailed those out to your home. You can get those either one of those places. And it's a 3-page PDF. The first page is just informational. The second page is actually the wellness form itself. And then the third page is an appeals form. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. So here are those biometrics that I just mentioned. The blood sugar, which is your glucose, your BMI, that's your weight, your cholesterol, and your blood pressure. Having an outcome that is within a healthy range for each one of these biometrics is 300 points. And we've listed what the healthy ranges are there. And keep in mind, these ranges are allowing for borderline results to pass. For example, if your blood sugar says that you are pre-diabetic you're still going to pass. If your BMI says you're overweight, still going to pass. Same thing with cholesterol and blood pressure. So we've made it a little bit more flexible for people to be able to earn those points. But let's say you had all of this testing done and you were not within a healthy range. What if, what are your options then? Well, if you're being treated for any of these conditions, then you can get points for that. So, for example, if you are being treated for high blood pressure, then you need to bring the appeals form that you would be getting, you printed out with the wellness form. Bring that to your doctor when you get your physical done. Have your doctor indicate on there you're being treated for it. It would be the same if you're being treated for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar. Any of those things that your doctor is treating you for, your doctor can indicate on there that you're being treated, and that gets you the points for that biometric. Now, in some cases, your doctor can also indicate that they don't believe that it's reasonable for you to meet this biometric outcome. For example, a pregnant woman is likely to not meet her BMI. So that would be an option for the doctor to indicate on there that it's not reasonable for you to meet that outcome. The same thing might happen, a bodybuilder might have a hard time meeting their BMI as well. So those are options. We encourage you, when you print that wellness form out, bring that appeals form with you, because you should get points for something if you're being treated for it. So as we look back at just overall how to earn points, on that same wellness form that I mentioned, there is a tobacco affidavit. So if you do not use tobacco, you can get 600 points for being a non-tobacco user, 600 points for just getting the biometric testing done, and 600 points for the annual physical. So that's 1,800 points right there. Now, I just mentioned the wellness, the biometric outcomes, 300 points each. That's 1,200 points. You put the 1,200 and 1,800 together, that's your 3,000 points to get you into the gold tier right there without doing anything else. But let's say you still didn't make it into the tiers because you didn't make one or more of your biometrics, and you're not being treated, and you're not looking to be treated for it. So that's where Aduro comes into play. That is our WellTime website. And this is where we're giving you options for other ways to get points. If you go to the WellTime website, which is DriveTime'sMyWellMetrics.com, and you can complete an assessment, and you can get points for that. And it's like a 25 question health risk assessment. And your employer does not see the answer to that, but completing that assessment helps Aduro identify options that would be relevant to you. For example, if you've said that you need to exercise more, it's going to put options out there for you to encourage you to exercise. We also have wellness challenges out there, and they usually run about 6 weeks, each one of them. They're self-reported, and they can be fun to participate in, and at the same time, it's increasing your awareness of healthy lifestyle choices, like staying hydrated, or maybe reducing sodium in your diet, or increasing the amount of vegetables that you consume, or the amount of exercise you do. It's all self-reported in terms of the challenges. Going to the dentist, getting your teeth cleaned, you get points for that. Going to the optometrist, getting your eyes checked, you get points for that. Even in our 5K run that we had this year, you get points for that as well. There's just a lot of options here, and that's the whole idea. You can also use Aduro's website for coaching and all sorts of things that you might want to coach. Could be weight loss, smoking cessation, just all sorts of different things. And if you already earned your 3,000 points through just getting your biometric testing done and your physical and being a non-tobacco user, you could still earn these points toward a $50 Amazon gift card. So we encourage you to check out this website. It is fun, and it has a lot of options. And again, that is drivetime.mywellmetrics.com. And here we'd just like to remind you that DriveTime locations are tobacco-free campus.
Okay guys, now that we've gone over the wellness program and the medical plans, we're just going to take you through some of the other benefits that DriveTime offers. As you can see on the screen, the dental coverage DriveTime offers is through MetLife. We get a lot of questions about MetLife dental insurance cards, things like that. A lot of employees will go to their doctor and present their, or the dentist and present their United Healthcare card, and then their dentist will tell them that they do not have coverage. And that is because your dental coverage is provided through MetLife. MetLife doesn't offer us dental cards necessarily, but we do have a group number for all of DriveTime and Bridgecrest. It's listed on our website. So you'll just log on to DriveTimeBenefits.com, go to the dental page, and you can find the group number there. When you have an appointment, you'll just take that group number with you, let your dentist know your coverage is through MetLife, and they can look you up with your personal information. Just like medical, the rates for dental have not changed, are not changing for 2017. So the rates are staying the same. We do have two dental plans, the dental high plan and the dental low plan. On the dental low plan, obviously it's pretty intuitive. It has a little bit less coverage than the dental high plan. So the dental low plan, you can only see an in-network network provider with MetLife. For the dental high plan, you can see an in-network or out-of-network provider and still get the same type of coverage. For the low plan, the annual plan max, which is when I say annual plan max, that is the annual amount that the plan will pay out for your claims. Now your cleanings are 100% covered on both plans unless you're in Georgia, Texas, or Missouri, and then they're the coverage is a little bit different on the low plan. But so if you are in any of those states, just make sure you check out our plan summaries on the website, because there is a little bit of difference with the low plan in those states. However, the low plan, the annual plan max, which is the amount that the plan will pay out for your claims, anything related to like a filling or a crown, something like that, that would be what the plan is paying out for you. On the low plan, it's $1,500. On the high plan, we increased it last year to $1,750. So it is a little bit better coverage on the high plan. And then the only other difference in the plans is that the high plan does also offer adult orthodontia. So if you were never able to get braces as a child and want to get them now as an adult, you can do that. It also covers Invisalign, which is another popular benefit in adult orthodontia. Now we'll discuss vision. Our vision coverage is through VSP. So like MetLife, there's no card for the vision coverage. However, you can get the group number online on our website, DriveTimeBenefits.com. Go to the vision page. Take that group number with you to your eye doctor, give them VSP's name, and they can look your coverage up with your personal information. Also, no rate changes with vision, still keeping the same premiums, and we only have one vision plan for the company. But last year we did increase, we just want to point out that we did increase contact and glasses lenses allowance from $130 to $150. So there is a little bit more coverage without any impact to your rates. But do know if you are a contact and glasses wearer, the plan will only cover one or the other every 12 months. Your exam is covered. You have a small copay, about $15. If you have a contact lens fitting exam, the copay can be up to $60. But all of this information is listed on our benefits website. You can go to the vision page and you can see a summary of exactly what the plan covers. But the eye exam is every 12 months. Glasses and lenses allowance is every 12 months. However, frames is every 24 months. So if I get frames this year in 2016, I wouldn't get another frame allowance until 2018. And the frame allowance is separate from the lens allowance, and it just depends on what type of frames you are getting. So just make sure you visit that benefits page and see the vision summary for what the plan covers. And now we're going to talk about life and disability coverage. Our life and disability coverage is provided to us by Sun Life. And everyone in the company is offered a basic life insurance policy at 1 times your annual salary with a max of $50,000. Now this is not something you have to enroll in. It is a free benefit that a DriveTime pays for that is just offered to you for being an employee. So So it is really important, since you don't have to enroll in this, and if you're not enrolling in any other coverage, that you still log on to to enroll, because you want to add what's called a beneficiary. So I'll show you guys how to kind of get enrolled in the plan later, and you can also add a beneficiary on that site. What a beneficiary is it's someone who, in the unfortunate event something were to happen to you and you were to pass on, that person would get your benefit of your life insurance policy. So, it can be anyone. It can be a child. It can be a trust. It can be your spouse. It can be anyone. We just have to make sure that you go in online and designate that beneficiary so that in the event something does happen, DriveTime and Sun Life, we know how to allocate your life insurance policy. In addition to basic life insurance, DriveTime also offers supplemental or voluntary life insurance. In the past, we've only offered it at 1, 2, or 3 times your annual salary. And in 2017, we're also going to offer it at 4 and 5 times your annual salary. This is really beneficial for someone who might work off of, who might earn a lot of their money off of bonuses and commissions. So if you have a lower base salary, especially like a sales advisor, and then you earn a lot of your money off bonuses and commissions, since life insurance is based on your base salary, this is kind of a benefit for you to take advantage of some additional life insurance coverage. If you do elect supplemental life insurance for yourself, you can also elect it for your spouse and for your dependent children. For spouse life, the coverage is available up to $100,000, and for dependent life, the coverage is available up to $10,000. And now, if you are enrolling in dependent coverage and you have more than one child, all of the children are covered with you just enrolling in the dependent life insurance one time. But please note, you do have to have supplemental life insurance for yourself in order to enroll in it for a spouse or a child. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is disability coverage. So disability coverage is a coverage that if you were to become disabled, this coverage would kind of help supplement some of your lost income and wages from being unable to work. The way it works is as an employee, you will enroll in the long-term disability coverage, and then DriveTime will cover your short-term disability coverage if you're approved for the coverage. So you enroll in long-term, and then you get short-term, and DriveTime pays for that. You pay for long-term, DriveTime pays for short-term. So you can't kind of pick and choose only short-term or only long-term. You have to enroll in the long-term, and then you also get the short-term if you're approved for the coverage. So notice that I did say if you're approved for the coverage. So anytime someone enrolls in life insurance or disability coverage outside of a new hire enrollment period, you are going to be subject to what's called evidence of insurability. So if you're planning on enrolling in any of these coverages during open enrollment and you've never had these coverages before on our plan and you're not a new hire, you will want to note that you are going to have to fill out what's called evidence of insurability. This is just basically a form. Sun Life is going to send it to you in the mail. You can also access it online on Sun Life's website, which you can access through the DriveTime Benefits website. But it's basically a form asking for either your medical history or spouse's medical history if you're adding spouse life, just to make sure there's no pre-existing conditions that are going to eliminate you from being a part of that coverage. So just want to note, and we like to point out, that is going to be something that is coming to you if you are enrolling in this coverage and you're not a new hire. Make sure you get that filled out as quickly as possible. We will not make you pay for the coverage unless you are due to evidence of insurability and actually submit that to Sun Life and you are approved for the coverage. And notice on disability, we have, for long-term, that's what you'll enroll in. We have 2 different kinds of plans. We have a core plan and a buy-up plan. The core plan will pay you out for a benefit duration of 5 years, and the buy-up plan will pay you out to the normal Social Security retirement age of 65. Now, to kind of let you guys know how this payout works, we'll walk through some quick examples. So, one of the most common short-term disability claims is for maternity leave. So say I've already enrolled in disability and I was approved for the coverage, and I go out on maternity leave. For the first 14 days, I will have a waiting period and won't be paid out anything. But after that, and my claim's already been approved, I'll be paid out 60% of my salary for up to a max of $13.85 per week. for the time I'm considered disabled. Now with maternity leave, it's generally about 6 to 8 weeks that you're disabled. But say I'm disabled because I got in a car accident and I'm going to be out for 6 months. Now in that case, after 13 weeks of being on short-term disability, it'll go to a long-term disability claim and I'm paid out to 60% of my salary up to $6,000. Now, say I have a car accident and they're telling me I'm going to be totally disabled and unable to work again for the rest of my life. That's kind of where you see the core plan and the buy-it plan come into play. The core plan, if you're totally disabled, will pay you out for a benefit duration of 5 years. And then the buy-it plan would pay you out to the normal Social Security retirement age of 65. The rate for these, this election disability does vary. It's based on your pay. In the past, it's been solely based on base pay, but going forward, we're going to be basing the rate and the payouts on for your box one W-2 wages if you've been for the company with. Sorry about that. If you've been with DriveTime for over a year and you have a W-2 wage, it is going to be based on your box one W-2 from the prior year. So this includes commissions and bonuses. So it's really exciting to offer that to you guys. It's just a little bit of an extra coverage option. So the last benefit I'm going to touch base on is 401k. So for 401k, DriveTime matches 40 cents on the dollar up to the first 6% of your salary that you contribute. So this is a pretty exciting benefit. It's your retirement savings plan. It's basically a free money option to you guys for retirement savings with DriveTime's Match. So the 401k plan is run through Fidelity Investments. You may participate in our 401k plan at any time after your 31st day of employment. So it's continually open enrollment. You can make changes at any time by going to 401k.com or by calling Fidelity. And you can find out more about 401k on our benefits website. Okay, these are two internal audits that the benefits team does that we just want to make you aware of, the dependent audit and the Social Security number audit. So for the dependent audit, that just means we require documentation for any newly added dependents to our medical, dental, or vision plans. So if you're planning on enrolling a new dependent during open enrollment, you will want to send us what's called dependent eligibility documentation, and you'll want to send that in by December 1st, 2016. This is just documentation that shows the proof of relationship between yourself and your dependent that you're adding. So if you're adding a spouse, it can be your marriage certificate or a tax form if you file taxes together. If you're adding a child, it can be the birth certificate with you listed as the parent, a tax form if you claim them on your taxes, things like that. And then because of the Affordable Care Act, it does require all dependents who have medical coverage to have a Social Security number on file. So we do also audit for that. So just make sure if you're adding during open enrollment, if you have the social with you, you get that entered. If you don't, we'll send you a reminder. Just make sure you get that on file for your dependents. And the last thing we're going to go over is how to enroll. So you're going to enroll in benefits in ADP self-service, portal.adp.com between October 24th and November 4th. Open enrollment will close at 5 p.m. on November 4th. That's 5 p.m. Pacific, Arizona time. So you'll want to make sure that you are completely done with all your changes by that time. ADP self-service is accessible from work or home, so don't panic if you're sick on the last day of enrollment and you haven't made changes. You can log on to that site from home. And instructions are posted on our website, DriveTimeBenefits.com. All the screenshots you'll see here are posted on there as well. But step one is to log into ADP self-service. If this is your first time logging in, you'll want to make sure that you create a new user account. If it's not your first time logging in and you forgot your password, there is a forgot password link, as you can see on the bottom of the screen there. Or if you forget your user ID, there's also a link for that, but you can also reach out to the payroll team. They can help with resetting any passwords if you're locked out of your account. So after you get logged into self-service, we do have a benefits tab at the top of the screen. You'll click on benefits and go to health and welfare. And then step 3, after you're in health and welfare, during open enrollment there should be an Enroll Now button. But if for some reason you don't see it, you can always go up to the My Self tab and click on Enrollment. From there, you'll start the open enrollment process. You'll click on Manage New Dependents if you need to add any new dependents or change anything with your dependents. And then after that, you'll be good to start enrolling. You'll enroll in each plan individually, medical, dental, vision, life insurance. Everything will be individual. You'll click on the type of coverage on the left-hand side, and then you'll kind of just go through each coverage individually. You'll want to make sure that when you're enrolling, when you select the type of plan you want, so say you want medical and you want traditional, you select that. It's automatically going to enroll you in that plan. However, it's not automatically going to enroll your dependents. Your dependents will be listed below you, and you'll want to make sure that you click the checkbox next to their name if you want them to be enrolled in that coverage. And just something to note that I didn't mention before, if you are adding a dependent and they are over the age of 19 and a full-time student, you will want to make sure you indicate that when you add them as a dependent. There is a box that you check if they are a full-time student. And this is because on dental and vision coverage, your child will be removed at age 19 if they're not listed as a full-time student. If they are a full-time student, they can be on the plan until age 25. And then for medical, it doesn't matter, regardless of student status, they can be on the plan until they reach age 26. But after you get all of your dependents added, all of your coverage elections made, you'll want to make sure on the bottom of the screen you click Confirm Elections after you're finished reviewing everything. Confirm Elections is really important because if you do not click this button, your elections will not be effective for 2017. There is a Save and Return Later button, so make sure you don't hit that when you hit Confirm Elections when all your final elections have been made. So just some reminders for you guys. We really appreciate you listening to our presentation today. But this is a passive enrollment, which means if you don't want to change anything for your benefit elections, you're happy with everything, it'll stay the same for 2017, with the exception of a flexible spending account or HSA account, which has to be re-enrolled in every year. Employees who do not have our benefits must confirm their elections in ADP. This is a Affordable Care Act law, since we have to report on those people who do not have medical coverage and who were offered medical coverage. You'll see your current wellness rate when you go to enroll. So if you're currently in Wellness Bronze, but you know for 2017 you've earned Wellness Gold, you'll want to make sure that your rates reflect that on your paycheck in January. So just be sure in January on your first pay stub you're reviewing your wellness rates to make sure they're correct. Instructions on how to enroll and confirm are posted on the benefits website, DriveTimeBenefits.com. All of our plan information is also posted there, so if you have questions regarding the plans, you can look there as well. And then we will, on the benefits dash page, we will have a report for all employees by employee ID number who have confirmed open enrollment elections. And we're going to be doing 5 random gift card drawings for those who do confirm. So make sure to stay tuned, read our emails so you can see if you're a winner or not. And open enrollment does end November 4th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We thank you guys so much for listening to our presentation. If you have questions, make sure you email us, benefits@drivetime.com, or like I said, visit our website, www.drivetimebenefits.com.